Good morning. It is December 2nd here in northern Wisconsin, and you are watching and listening to the Northern Town Daily Commute. On this is a kind of a child little daily podcast, or almost daily podcast, not always daily, but to our Life in a Northern Town series, which is a little bit more structured, with interviews and features and such about things and people and events around the North Woods. This is kind of our daily little chat session on our way to work, where we kind of hit some of the highlights of events coming up, stuff in the news, people making the news, that sort of thing, and issues and activities here around northern Wisconsin. It is a balmy 14 degrees here. We've gotten about a foot and a half of snow or so over the past 3-4 days, something like that. So the roads are fairly clear, but still a little snow packed and slippery and icy. So if you're out and about, please be careful. Take a couple extra minutes, even though you may be driving that big pickup truck with the four-wheel drive and all that. Four-wheel drive just means that all four wheels are sliding on ice in the same direction. So please be careful, especially in the corners and at the intersections. Nobody needs to start off the holiday season with a wreck. So looks like the city has done a pretty good job. We're actually just outside. We're coming into Rhinelander right now. We just passed Highway 47, and we are on River Street headed into town. So this is actually still county here, which looks like they've done a pretty good job. Once we get to the top of the hill here, we'll actually be in the city proper. We'll see how Rhinelander's done. You got to remember, up here we don't put a whole lot of salt down on the roads. For those of you that may be used to, areas like Madison or Milwaukee, Chicago, Minneapolis, St. Paul, that sort of thing, where they use a lot of sand. Where they use a lot of salt, I'm sorry. We use a lot of sand up here. Good or bad, not sure yet. But we don't use salt because there's always a fear up here of the salt fouling private wells, which we have a tremendous amount of, and fouling our lakes and streams. So our natural resources are very much our biggest resource up here, in terms of economic development and economic stability. Tourism is obviously a big thing here, so a lot of people try to protect those natural resources pretty well. So now we're in the city. It's a little bit icier, and you can start to see the brown on the road. That's the sand that gets spread. So problem with the sand is that, in theory, it creates more traction on the snow and the ice. You can take that for what it is. Salt has a tendency to melt ice, but again, we kind of protect those natural resources. And being a small rural town, the truth of the matter is that we don't have really the large tax base that more urban areas have, to do wastewater treatment and that sort of thing, to take that salt back out of the water that runs off the roads and such before it runs into rivers and lakes. So if it's not there in the first place, you don't have to worry about taking it out. We actually record this. This is a new thing that we're just starting to do here, or I'm starting to do. I don't know why I always say we, but you'll hear me say we a lot. But it's a new thing that we're kind of doing. There's not, to my knowledge, a whole lot of this sort of thing going on up here, other than maybe a short daily newscast that the television station and the radio stations do. They do a fine job, but again, they're a little bit limited on resources, and I think it's safe to say that most people would agree that our news gathering sources up here, newspapers, television, even some of the radio, has a tendency to be a little biased, one side of the political spectrum to the other. I'll leave it to you to determine who leans what way and and how much they lean. But I'll just kind of leave it at that. So, news gathering it's got people involved and personalities, and that's going to happen sometimes. And there's going to be times when we talk about news here on this little daily podcast here, and we're going to try and be unbiased, just kind of give you the facts. If it's an opinion, I will tell you it's my opinion, and those who know me and who have dealt with me before know that I am not shy about holding back my opinions. So, but we're going to try to be as balanced as we can, because I think that's real important nowadays. Give you the facts, let you figure it out, that sort of thing. So. But yeah, we record this here in the car on the way to work. It is actually on my iPhone. The audio right now is a little crappy. I know that. I'm working on it. I've got some stuff ordered from Amazon that hopefully is going to change that dramatically, so that I don't have to talk quite as loud and you can hear a little bit better and that sort of thing. But right now we're doing it just with my iPhone. I've got a mount here right on the dashboard looking out the front windshield. So no, I am not holding the phone, and I am not being distracted as I am driving. I know that's always a concern, so I've tried to eliminate that. I talk to myself most of the time when I'm in the car anyway, so that's nothing new to me, and now I'm just talking to you, which is a lot of fun for me. So, and it's exciting that this is something that I get to do, and there may be some other folks that come on board and do kind of the same thing from time to time. So if you have questions or comments or things that you want to hear discussed or opinions on something, fan mail, hate mail, whatever you want, you can find us, and you can comment on our Facebook page, which is Life in a Northern Town on Facebook. You'll actually bring up a couple of pages. We're the ones with the little reel-to-reel recorder and such. There's also a Life in a Northern Town series that happens up in, I believe it's Minnesota. A gentleman writes a newspaper column, or is trying to start a newspaper column. So, but we're the guys with the little reel-to-reel. You can always leave a comment there, and we check that all the time. We don't check it live, obviously, when I'm in the car driving. So, but if you leave me something today, I'll talk about it tomorrow. I'll do a little bit of research, find out what you're talking about, and we'll talk about it. Not a big deal. The other way that you can get a hold of us, Northern Town at northwoodsnetwork.com. That's Northern Town at northwoodsnetwork.com. You can always send an email, and kind of the same thing happens there. We'll talk about what's going on, and somebody out snow blowing already this morning, so, or still snow blowing probably, knowing the way the snow's been. But yeah, feel free to reach out. Always happy to answer a question or take a dig or whatever we need to do. So traffic has been a little bit easier through the city here, and we're a city of 7,800 people, so in a county of 36,000, so it's not like rush hour in Milwaukee, that sort of thing. But traffic had been a little snarky here as of late. They were working on Stevens Street and had it torn up the vast majority of the summer. They didn't quite finish before winter hit, so they've laid down just a base layer of asphalt and tidied up some stuff and called it good. So it's nice that Stevens Street is open again, and we're actually on, I don't know what we're on. We're on Thayer, I believe, here. Eagle Street. No, this is Eagle Street. I'm sorry. So, but yeah, Stevens Street being open has really helped town quite a bit. So, well, it looks like we're going to get stuck behind the school bus here. So, I'm going to let you go. Again, it's December 2nd. Temperature right now is about, according to my car right now, is about 12 degrees. It's gone down a little bit. So, we are going to let you go. Hope everybody has a great day. Stay safe, and you've been watching and listening to the Northern Town Daily Commute. Bye-bye.